Okay, hello again, and very welcome to the third part of I2 courses. Uh, I don't want to go back and review anything for now because this part is completely different from the other parts. So first, I'm going to start with this reading. Then we will go back a little bit and review the grammar of the part 2. Good. Uh, we talked about emotions before. When you look at this lady, what expressions what expression you see in her face? Um, on her face, you can see somehow sadness. Hmm? The expression on her face shows distress and sadness. Okay? So you can get some idea that this reading might be about sadness. Good. Before going to the reading part, to the passage, first let's match the words with their meanings here and then continue with the reading part. Okay. Uh, enduring, number one. Enduring. Enduring is grammatically an adjective and uh, enduring means long lasting. See, long lasting. So it is an adjective meaning long lasting, something that lasts for a long time. But endure is verb. Let me write it here for you. Endure is a verb, and endure means tolerate. To tolerate. Hmm? Tolerate. Bear. When you cannot stand something, you cannot tolerate it, bear it, endure. But enduring is an adjective and it means long lasting. Number two, stigmatize. Stigmatize. Stigmatize means denounce. Denounce. G. Uh, or somehow we can say express your disapproval. Express express disapproval. Okay? Express disapproval. It has another meaning to humiliate. You, you, sorry. Humi, humiliate, humiliate. Okay? Humiliate also is another meaning. Express disapproval, humiliate, and also stigmatize. They have somehow the same meaning, but in the reading I will explain it more. Don't worry. Uh, Number three, severity. Severity means seriousness. I. Severity means seriousness. For example, severity of a disease, severity of a problem means seriousness, how serious, how severe something, a problem, a disease might be. Severity is a noun and severe is an adjective. Severe symptoms of a disease means strong symptoms, signs of a disease. Number four, weep. Weep means cry, shout, be. Number five, sardonic. Sardonic. Number five means disrespectful. H, disrespectful. Sardonic. Sardonic means disrespectful. Number six, surge. Surge means sudden increase. Sudden increase. Surge of happiness, surge of sadness means sudden increase of happiness or sadness. Uh, encompass. Number seven, encompass. Encompass means include. A. Encompass means include or cover. Cover. For example, this house encompass 1,000 square meter. This house encompass 100 or 1,000 square meter means covers a land. Number eight, relentless. Relentless. Relentless means cruel. D. Relentless means cruel. D. Relentless situation, relentless behavior. Performative. Number nine, performative. F. Dramatic performance. Dramatic performance. Okay. Now, after you got the meaning of these words, the definitions, now it's time to go to the reading part. You're supposed to, that read this reading, underline and highlight the important keywords and also collocations. Now together, let's read and paraphrase it. The monster. Monster, the kind of huge, cruel animals. Monster. You can check the Farsi meaning if you want. Let's start it. The monster. One of the most popular, enduring, and irritating myths about depression is that it means depressed people are sad all the time. And that by extension, people who are happy cannot be experiencing depression, even if they say they are. Okay. Popular, enduring. Enduring means long lasting, something. Enduring myth. Myth means story. Long lasting, a story that has been passed and has lasted for a long time. And irritating. Irritating means, yes, we have had this before. Irritating means bothering, annoying. Fact about depression is that it means depressed people are all the time sad, and that by extension means therefore, and therefore people who are happy cannot be experiencing depression even if they say they are. So actually this part wants to say that the idea that depressed people are all the time depressed and people who look happy cannot experience it is not a true idea about depression. It is a skewed and horrible version of the depression, and it is one of the further and it is one that further stigmatizes the condition and isolates people with depression and related mental health condition. This is queer and horrible version of depression. Uh, it refers to this first part sentence, means this idea that depressed people are always sad. It is a incorrect. Skewed means incorrect and horrible, terrible, terrifying version of depression. And it is one that further stigmatizes the condition. And this idea about depression actually is something that further means more. Further stigmatize. Stigmatize here means worsen the condition. This idea about depression actually is something that stigmatizes the condition, means makes the condition of the depressed people worse and worse, and isolates, separates people with depression and related mental health condition. So this idea about depression that I explained at the beginning makes the condition of the depressed people worse and separate these people and the people who suffer from other mental health conditions, separates them from other people, normal people. This is because, put bluntly, depression doesn't make you sad all the time. Though the level of sadness a patient experiences can of course vary depending on the individual and the severity of depression. So this is because this making this condition worse. This is because um, put bluntly means to be honest, to speak openly. Depression doesn't make you all the time sad. But anyway, although, however, it depends on the level of sadness and the severity of depression a person is experiencing. When I'm having a depressive episode, I am not walking around in tattered black clothes, weeping and wailing. So now, talking about his or her own experience when I'm having a depressive episode. Depressive is an adjective, means a period that I am experiencing depression. Uh, Actually, wants to explain that the depressed people are not sad all the time. They have some good times as well. Tattered, I'm not walking in tattered. Tattered means torn, worn out, old black clothes. Weeping means crying. Wailing also means crying. A little bit different. Weeping means crying for a long time, and wailing means crying loudly. I go out with friends. I crack jokes, especially sardonic ones. Now she's explaining what kind of things sometimes she does when she's not that much sad. Going out with friends, crack joke. Crack jokes means tell jokes, especially sardonic ones. Sardonic means disrespectful. Those kinds of, uh, you know, bad jokes. I keep working. Keep here means continue. I keep working and have friendly chats with the people I work with. I often manage to feed and clothe myself. I read books. Above all, I experience moments of happiness. Above all means more than all these things I told you, I experience moments of happiness. How? Now she's going to explain how she experiences moments of happiness. like this. A flash of delight as I'm walking on the beach with a friend and the sun is perfect. Sorry. And the sun is perfect and the breeze is just right. A flash, flash of delight. Delight means happiness, joy. A flash of delight when I'm walking on the beach with a friend. The sun is perfect. And breeze means that soft wind that blows from the sea to the beach is just right. A surge somewhere deep inside when I am surrounded by beautiful trees and it is raining and I feel my heart swelling to encompass the whole world. A surge means a sudden increasing a feeling of happiness somewhere inside me when I'm surrounded by beautiful trees and it is raining and I feel my heart swelling when, for example, something swells, it becomes uh, bigger and bigger. For example, you hit your hand on something very hard, it hurts and it swells. When your heart swells means your heart becomes big, in of course not in size, but it gets big to encompass, to cover, to include the whole world. When you definitely you have experienced this feeling that when you are really happy, your heart, from bottom of your heart, wholeheartedly you are happy, your heart wants to encompass, include the whole world because you are very happy. A warm, friendly, affectionate sensation at the touch of a friend. Affectionate means loving, full of love. Sensation means a feeling. A beautiful, loving feeling at the touch of a friend means when a friend touches you, you have that beautiful, loving feeling. A hug at the end of an evening or a hand placed over mine as we lean forward to see something better. So, here in this paragraph, she is explaining that even though you're having a depressive episode, sometimes you can have a joyful, pleasant time like the ones that was mentioned here, a flash of delight, walking at the beach with friends, everything is perfect, breeze is just right, and a surge and increasing feeling deep inside you wholeheartedly. Your heart wants to encompass the whole world because you are very happy with the touch of a friend. You have this affectionate feeling of happiness, and when you have your friend's hand while you are lean forward, lean backward. Look, I'm leaning backward, lean forward. Sometimes you lean forward, for example, you are at the beach, you are standing on a bridge, for example, and you put your hands on the fences, your friend's hand is on your hand, you lean forward in order to see this ocean better. These actually activities shows that this person at the same time that is having a depressive episode, also can enjoy these simple things in life. Let's now continue. Yet I feel a strange, conflicting pressure. Yet here means nevertheless. Nevertheless means although I'm happy, At the same time, I feel a strange, conflicting pressure. Conflicting means um, different, opposing. Let me write it here for you. Opposing means feelings that don't match each other, they are against each other. Different. They are different, they disagree with each other, oppose each other. On the one hand, I feel like I need to engage in a sort of relentless performative sadness to be taken seriously, for people to understand that I really am depressed, and that each day, each moment of each day is a struggle for me, that even when I'm happy, I'm still fighting the monster. So, with these sentences, actually, she's showing that conflicting pressure, having joy, happiness with friends, but on the other hand, I feel like I need to engage to take part in a kind of performative, some kind of um, dramatic performance to show that I am really, really depressed, and each day moment of each day I am struggling for me. This is each day is a struggling actually for me, struggle for me means struggle here means trying hard. I try hard inside each day, every moment I struggle and I fight with the monster inside me. Here actually depression monster actually is the same depression, that feeling of depression. Relentless means cruel, and performative, as I said, means dramatic performance. So she wants actually to take part in these kinds of dramatic performance in order to show people that she is struggling and she is fighting with monster and she is really depressed. I feel like I need to darken everywhere, everything around me, to stop communicating with the world, to stop publishing anything, to just stop. So during this episode, she feels like to darken everything. Darken, as I told you, we add en at the end of some of the adjectives and make them a verb. Darken everywhere means everything means to make everything dark around me. Means maybe switch off the lights, whatever. Just stop communicating and stop publishing anything means either the same communicating, writing anything, and having any kind of communication with people around me, and to just stop everything, because that way I will appear suitably sad and thus depressed depressed. And then maybe people will recognize that I'm depressed and perhaps they will even offer support and assistance. So she wants to do all these darken everywhere, stop, just stop communication and everything, because with this action, he will appear completely sad and depressed, thus means as a result, therefore, depressed, and people will recognize, will know that she's depressed, and maybe even they offer support and assistance. Assistance means help. The jokes die in my throat. The smile never reaches my lips. I don't share that moment of happiness on the beach by turning to my friends and expressing joy. The jokes dies means I cannot crack jokes anymore and I cannot smile anymore. Smile dies. I feel we had this in the previous part, uh, a lump in my throat, and I don't share that moment of happiness. So the first paragraph actually was wanted to say that necessarily a depressed person is not all the time sad, weeping, wailing, wearing tattered clothes. And this is something, an enduring, irritating idea about sadness, which really hurts depressed people and separate them from normal people. And also, it wants to say that not necessarily people who look happy have not experienced a period of sadness. And the next two paragraphs actually are explaining that yes, you may be suffering from depression, but sometimes you, with doing these activities, you can share your happiness and pleasure with your friend and environment. But on the other hand, you sometimes really feel like to show people, to engage in a kind of relentless performative sadness in order to show you are really sad and depressed and you need other people's support and help, because actually all the time you are struggling with a monster, means that depression uh, within you, and you sometimes need support and assistance of other people. Okay, thank you. Now, number one, let's answer the questions together. What is the mistaken belief about depression? Regarding whatever I told you and I explained, I'm sure that you got the point here. What is the mistaken belief about depression? It is actually that depression, that depressed people, first paragraph. Let's say it is an irritating myth about depression. So this is not true actually. Which one? That depressed people are sad all the time, and also people who are happy cannot be experiencing depression even if they say that. These two ideas are not uh, true about depression. They are mistaken beliefs that depressed people are all the time sad and the people who are sad, who are happy, cannot be experiencing sadness or enduring an irritating myth about depression. How does number two, how does he describe his moments of happiness when he's having a depressive episode? So paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 actually is the answer for number 2. A flash of delight as I'm walking on the beach with a friend and the sun is just perfect and breeze is just right, and this actually paragraph is the answer for number 2. And number 3, what does he do in order to be taken seriously during his depressive episode? I think I explained uh, quite clearly. The answer for number 3 is in paragraph 3. He tries, he or he. Yeah, he needs to engage in a sort of relentless performative sadness to be taken seriously, for people to understand that he's really sad. And in order to do this, if you want to give more and further information, Yes, he would like to darken everywhere, stop communicating with other words, stop publishing, just stop everything. So you can start from the beginning to get engaged in a sort of relentless performative sadness. What is that performative sadness? To darken everywhere, stop communicating, stop publishing, and just stop everything in order to look and to be taken seriously by other people. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, okay, let's switch back a little bit. Last part, previous part, we had a grammar. For example, uh, if we hit ice, it melts. When we heat ice, when we heat water, it boils. When people get married in our country, they usually have a big reception. We talked about if I if I have, for example, $1 million, I will travel around the world. And we mentioned that zero condition. Actually, in zero condition, we are talking about facts and principles. Uh, but in the first one, first conditional, um, we talk about possible actions that they might happen. If I immigrate to Canada, I will be happier. I will start working there. I will continue my studies there. In type 1, if clause is simple, present is present, and main clause we can use will, other auxiliaries like can or may, or imperative. If you go there, if you go to the party, tell Tom, for example, to call me, imperative form. Now, here, before starting this part, first there is a short paragraph here. Let's read it together. The name is The People um, Watchers. And why does the reviewer like the program? Pick of the Mountain. My own favorite series this month, The People Watchers, presented by Professor Richard Wiseman and his rather attractive psychologist friends. The show asks some very interesting questions. If no one saw you, would you take something without paying for it? How close to someone would you stand if you didn't know them? It is all good stuff, but maybe the program could be even better if we heard from more experts. Expert means specialists, people who have more experience and have more information. Unfortunately, for most of the series, we only hear Professor Wiseman's voice, and it would also be nice if we had more statistics. Statistics means doing some more researches and surveys and get the results. Some of the experiments using hidden cameras show only one or two people in action, not enough to make big conclusion about human nature. Some of the experiments means tests, exams. But overall, it is good TV. Light, easy on the eye, and fun. And I wish we had more of such programs. So, why does the reviewer like the program? Why? Because it is light, very easy on the eye, and fun. Because of these reasons, this person likes the program, but he wishes he had some more programs like this and to add some more experts and some more statistics to the program. But generally, overall means generally. Overall, it is a good TV. It is good TV because it is light, easy on the eye, and fun. Now, look at the four underlined sentences above and complete the rules with the words in the box. Look, there are some parts, some sentences which have been underlined in this paragraph. Which ones? If no one saw you, would you take something without paying for it? How close to someone would you stand if you didn't know him? If you didn't know them? The other one, maybe the program could be even better if we heard from more experts. And the other one, it would also be nice if we had more statistics. These four sentences, now read them again carefully, and here we have some words regarding those examples. Use these words in the box and complete the rules. Okay? Let's keep on together. Look, the words are would, could, hypothetical, imaginary, regrets, might, and past. Now, let's first would, could are clear, obvious. Hypothetical means imaginary. Hypothetical means imaginary. Imaginary, something that you imagine. Regret. Regret or remorse means you do something, then you regret. You say that, oh, I did this one, but it was a mistake. I shouldn't have done it. For example, I can say that um, I I bought a T-shirt yesterday, but when I came home, I didn't like it, and I said, "Oh, this T-shirt doesn't suit me. I shouldn't have bought it." Okay, I feel regret. And might pass, you know the meaning. Now, number one, we use the second conditional to describe blah 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 or blah 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 situation. If no one saw you, would you take something without paying for it? So it is used to describe imaginary or hypothetical situation. I will explain more, don't worry. In the if clause, we use as you see here, if clause. Let me find an example. If you didn't know them, how close would you stand? So in if clause, we use past simple. In the result clause, you remember main clause I told you in conditional type 1. One we have if clause, the other one is the result clause, main clause or consequence of the first clause. In the result clause, we use so if you didn't know someone, how close would you stand? So we use would, could, or might. And number 4, which sentences are used to show blah 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 about present situation. Look, look at the last one. I wish we had more of such programs. So it shows what? It shows regret. Regrets. Okay. Now let's go to Language Bank page 36 and elaborate on this grammar more. You remember, elaborate means explain, go into details. Okay, Language Bank, page 36. 3.2, page 36, Language Bank. Second conditionals. If, simple past. In if clause, we have simple past, and in main clause, we have would, could, might plus infinitive. Listen to the, look at the shadow, the lines, please, while I'm reading. On your book, page 36, if I had some time, I would pay you a visit. If life were easier, we could enjoy every minute. If my father bought that car, I might drive it now. Use could and might in the main clause to express ability or possibility. So we said that in if clause, conditional type 2, we use would in the main clause. You use could and might when you are talking about ability. Could expresses ability, might expresses possibilities. If I drove fast, I'd have an accident. This I'd apostrophe D actually means would. I would have an accident. I don't have an accident because I don't drive fast. If I were home, I would lie on the bed. I'm not at home. Look, we are talking about imaginary and hypothetical situation. If I were home, I would lie on bed. It means that I'm not home and I cannot lie in bed. Okay.